Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And hashtag Clownfish was right. Oh my God, imagine that. We're going to talk. It's just like, whatever. Look, I'm not gloating. We're not gloating. We're going to talk about the situation in Hollywood. They're like, hey, everybody's making a little bit more money. That's fantastic. Nobody's getting hired.
Yeah, it was funny. It was on X that somebody, I forget, was it Mac or something? Somebody said about it and tagged us in. I can't remember. I'm sorry, whoever you were off the top of my head. It's been a day. But yeah, so they tagged us in and I was like, oh, if only someone had seen this coming. I mean, if only.
Yeah. This is like, look, people thought we were anti-union and not anti-union per se, but we did tell you that the double strikes would result in fewer people getting jobs in Hollywood, which the unemployment rates are terrible right now in Hollywood, and also speed up the adoption of AI because they're not going to let themselves be, the studios are not going to let themselves be in that position again where the writers and the actors are not working and they have to stop production on pretty much everything. They're not going to allow that to happen. And again, we also said that some of you are going to get paid more. A lot of you are going to get gone because they can't afford all of you. So
Yep.
Survivor, right? It's like
Pretty
Darwinism. Much. Yeah. So let's talk about this. You're gonna have to show me this article. I haven't seen this one yet, but please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
No woohoos in Hollywood. Oh, hey, yeah, you'll get a huge woohoo. Well, huge. You get a medium-sized woohoo if you go to news.clownfishtv.com and sign up to get notified over there. We're trying to push people over there so they get notified. YouTube doesn't notify people like they used to. Also, we have paywalled content over there that you can purchase for $5 a month. Help support the channel. All right. Anyway, yeah, like I want to be clear, I'm not happy about people being out of work.
But we said this was going to happen because it was just common sense. And like we kept telling you guys, look, some of the things they were asking for, I think were fair. But other things they were asking for was a minimum like number of writers in the writer's room. And it was ridiculous and stuff. You're not going to get that. And they didn't get what they wanted. And we said, even those of you who that get to stay will make some more money, but then you're going to have far fewer of you left. And that's exactly what happened. It's almost as if someone said this was going to happen.
Yeah. And that's what we said with the strikes. We said, look, you guys can ask for these things, but even if you get some of them, one, I think some of the asks, a lot of the asks on the writer side were ridiculous. They wanted like a minimum guarantee or whatever. I'm like, that's not how business works. You know, you hire the number of people that you need to get the thing done and come in under budget, but whatever. A lot of these people don't understand how business works. And a lot of them are never going to understand how the business works because they're no longer working in the business because congratulations, you put yourselves out of work and also put a lot of other people in, support roles out of work. And they didn't ask for the moon, right? But yeah, this was going to happen. It's inevitable. You can't have everybody get a raise, you know?
It was funny here because they said that they're talking about the 2023 and they said, but there was more money in 2024. Well, yes, of course there was. If you look at 2024, but they said it came as no surprise to anyone. This is the Hollywood Reporter. When the Writers Guild of America West 2023 annual financial report showed that TV and film writer earnings and employment had declined the same year that union members got their strike against the studios and streamers. But 1 year later, in a work stoppage-free environment, employment dipped further than the strike era levels, even as earnings slightly rebounded. This is according to the union's 2024 annual financial report released Friday. No shit!
What?
We're going to have a look at it here. The document finds that in 2024, the total number of WGA West members reported earnings fell 9.4% compared with the prior year and 24.3% from 2022. At 1.5 billion, members' total earnings rose 12.7% compared with 2023, but were still 21% below 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, basically it's a latest sign of Hollywood companies reducing their output in a post-peak TV, post-strikes world as a more cautious and risk-averse business culture has taken hold because they can't trust you and they greenlight a bunch of shit and then you turn around and all strike at once. Of course they're going to not put as much out and they're going to be more leery and they're not going to hire as many of you.
Yeah, they were actually giddy. I think some of these studio executives were giddy because they're like, oh, thank God,
Yeah, I think so too.
we can cancel some of this shit that we greenlit in like 2017, 2018 that we know is not going to perform. We can get rid of it and be like, oh, because of the strikes, we had to cancel a bunch of stuff. We had to cancel
Yeah,
deals.
like, oh, thank God we can get rid of anti-racist baby.
We get rid of anti-racist baby, yeah.
We anticipate 2024 numbers to increase in subsequent reports, with late reporting to increase in the number of writers employed to a level similar to 2023. I don't buy it. The union's annual report stated it was at 2023 when there were strikes or before strikes or after the strikes. It's clear the number of jobs has declined from peak years as the companies pull back the number of projects.
Well, I mean, you look at from a business perspective, right? I kind of look at McDonald's or other fast food restaurants where they try to dabble in other things that people don't want, right? Like McDonald's at one point had pizza. Nobody wanted McDonald's pizza, although I've heard people that had it said it was actually pretty good. But they go to McDonald's for hamburgers, right? So and they'd rather sell millions of Big Macs and quarter pounders than like play around with oh, we're gonna try pizza, we're gonna try this, we're gonna try that. And that's what the studios are doing. They tried all this avant-garde Tumblr shit and hardly any of it worked out. And now they're like, let's just go back to bread and butter, steak and potatoes. That's we're going to do more sequels. And that's basically it. We're going to do more sequels, or we're going to put a bunch of money into something we know is going to perform.
We're also seeing a lot more of we're going to showrunner with a couple helpers instead of a bunch of different directors and different writers on every episode of a show. Like Daredevil redid their whole thing to put a showrunner in charge as opposed to different directors and all that. But looking here at the numbers, like 2019, the number of writers reporting earnings was 6,833. We go down, and that goes up. It goes up and down until 2022. It's 6,910. 2023 is 5,769, and now 2024 it's 5,228.
Wow.
And then if you look at the money, before the strike, it was 1.8. Was it one? Is it one
millions? Yeah, reported
millions. Yeah, 1.8, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9. 2023, 1.3, and now it's 1.5. So you're making a little more money, but you have less people making a little more money, which is exactly what we said was going to happen.
Yeah,
so yes, it looks like you're getting more money, but you're not really. You are the ones that stay.
Yeah, that's wow, that's down substantially. I mean, we're down like what 1,500 people from just a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's people. It's going to get worse because they said the most of the declines were TV and digital platforms for the most of it. Which they said digital platform writer employment dropped 11% and 28.5% from 2022 and 11% from 23 to 24.
Yeah, it's So I think I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of the showrunners would prefer to have a smaller writer's room because right now I don't understand it. The seasons are so damn short, right? Like it made sense to have a full staff of writers when you had like 20 to 26 episodes of a show that needed done every year, right? The showrunner could not write that many episodes themselves. Now a freaking season is 6 episodes, 8 episodes, 10 episodes.
Yeah.
You don't need
you don't need people like that. You need a showrunner and a couple assistants. A lot of showrunners don't even want assistants, but they're mandating it.
Because you can see what happens a lot of times. Well, I think a lot of times they were mandating these people to be there as assistants, but then they weren't really doing anything, or they might be like
they're paid to sit there, and there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
But the union's getting their dues, and so. But yeah, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. But like it always felt off to me when you would watch a show and you could tell like this episode was written by a different writer because it doesn't feel like it fits with the rest of the series.
Residuals were also down in 2024 compared to 2023. Declining 6%.
Yeah.
They said that the reuse payments are up 19.3% compared with 2019, but the decline in television residuals was 12.4% compared with 2023. So feature film didn't get as much of a hit because feature films usually only have usually a writer or director. You don't need a whole writer's room for a feature film. So of course they're not going to take as big of a hit as like a TV show.
I love how the union, right? The WGA West offered members an early peek at their data. But this is what they said. They said writing careers have always been difficult to access and sustain. Well, you keep promising people the moon, right? If they join. But the contraction has made it especially challenging. We're all subject to the decisions of the companies that control this industry, who have pulled back spending on content based on the demands of Wall Street.
No, they pulled back spending on content because no one watched your damn shows. Why the hell would they just flush money down a toilet just because it keeps you employed? No business is going to do that because they're a business. And because you guys didn't bring it, you kept pushing your pet project and agenda shit that the general public didn't want. And they all found out that streaming wasn't a good idea. Shocker. We told them that was a bad idea too.
Yeah. And they spent a lot of money on it and they lost a lot of money. Disney lost a lot of money on streaming. Apple loses money on streaming, even though they put out some really good stuff. But to them, like Apple's got billions and billions of dollars in the bank. Like they're like, oh yeah, we can blow $1 billion right off. Yeah, whatever.
I know, but I mean, it's like they're blaming it on Wall Street, but it's because people didn't watch your shit. And because the fact that all these studios decided they were going to be streamers, which was a really bad idea. And we said that was going to happen too. It is what it is. It's not just the studio's fault, though. It's because a lot of things are being pushed, a lot of ideas and narratives are being pushed in shows. People just tuned out.
Yeah.
And then you struck on top of it, which we told you was a bad idea. What'd you say? When daddy's unemployed, it's not a good time to ask for a pony. And that's exactly what you did.
Times were tough and you're asking for more money. And this is what they did. They're like, fine. We'll keep you and we'll sell your brother and sister.
Yeah, water's wet and its day ends in Y. So are we going to wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.